Hello students, welcome to St. Michael's e-learning classes. I'm your English teacher and today we are going to start a new poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, written by Stephen Spender. Students, before we start the poem, first of all we should know about the poet. The poet Stephen Spender was an English poet, novelist, essayist whose works have themes of social injustice, inequalities, and the class struggle. Students, we may say that the current poem that we are going to start today is a best example to it. In this poem, the poet describes the situation of deprived students of an elementary school, the elementary school that is located in a slum. What do you mean by slum? Slum means, students, probably you have heard Jukki Jhopdi. So, slum means a densely populated urban area marked by crowd, run-down housing, poverty, and social inequalities. You can say injustice also. So, here the poet, the great poet Stephen Spender, he raised his voice against the inequalities that lie in our society, and still it lies in our society. Students, as I have already told, that the poem conveys to us about the miserable situation of the students of slum area. The poet wants everybody's attention to these children. He wants improvement in their lives. He wants to break all barriers that lies in the society so that the equal opportunities provided to everyone. So here we go with the poem. We will start from here, students. Far, far from gusty waves these children faces. Before we start, students, one more thing I would like to say, that in this poem, in first stanza, the poet wants to tell about the way the students are appearing inside of the class. So, far, far from gusty waves, these children faces. He is talking about the face of the students, the appearance that they have. What do you mean by gusty? Gusty means a strong wind. Strong wind. Here we can say lively, full of life. Brightness is there. But when we are talking about the children, the students of elementary school in a slum, we may say their life, their faces are proclaiming how far removed these poor ailing children are from a normal life. Here we can say that their life is completely different from the life of other children who are enjoying today. You may take your own example, students. You are blessed people that you are provided with schools. Your parents are providing you best facilities and you are enjoying your life. But what about these children who are facing deprivation, who are facing social injustice? They are malnourished, and these children, their life is very much far away from life, real in real sense of the term, from happiness. Now it's telling like rootless weeds. You have heard the word weeds, rootless weeds. खरपतवार का नाम सुना होगा. They are good for nothing. They are of no use. So it's telling these children who are there in the elementary school's classroom in a slum, those who are studying there, they are just like willow weeds. They are just like rootless weeds. They are good for nothing. They are not welcomed in the society. For society, they are good for nothing. It seems they are unwanted. They are not welcomed by us. So here he is comparing these children to weeds. The hair of these children torn round their pallor. Pallor means what, students? It's pale, completely pale faced. It means they are malnourished and their hair are untidy, scattered here and there on their faces. The tall girl of the class, with her way down head. So here he is talking about the students present in the class, the tall girl, and he is telling the tall girl with her weight down head. It means that the girl who is tallest in the class, who is not suitable for the class, maybe she is overaged for the class. The next important reason is that she is depressed because of the situation, the miserable condition that she is facing. She is ill, probably. She is depressed. She is ill. She is feeling miserable situation, and at the same time she is feeling ashamed because she is overaged for the class. Now the next child is there in the class, the paper seaming boy. What do you mean by paper seaming boy, students? Paper seaming means very thin like paper, very thin like paper. So paper seaming boy, it means a thin boy is also there with red eyes. Here the words red eyes are used. It means you have seen red eyes, very much greedy, very attentive also at the same time. You can't catch it without rat trap, of course. So it's telling the boy who is very thin, and it seems he is greedy. From his size it can be easily seen. The stunted means what, students? Do you know the word stunted? Unlucky hair of twisted bones. Twisted bone, again I repeat, the stunted. It's your homework for today, students. It's your homework. The word is your homework. Unlucky hair of twisted bones. Twisted bone, it means the bones that are twisted or rough, you can say, or you can say not properly grown. Reciting, proclaiming, you can say here. Reciting, that is proclaiming here a father's gnarled disease. So the father was suffering, the father of this boy was suffering from gnarled disease. Gnarled disease, it means uh, the rough skin, you can say, and badly grown, you can say in strange shape, badly grown bones that are there. And the same disease the boy had got as a successor of his father, and he is suffering from this twisted bone disease. Means from his father as a successor he didn't get anything. What did he get? He get gnarled disease from his father, his relation from his desk. So the pathetic situation of the boy who got nothing from his father but disease. Again he is talking about one more boy in the class, the boy who is sitting at the back dim classroom. The class is dark. One unnoted. Unnoted means unnoticed, sweet and young. He is talking about a boy who is unnoticed, who is sweet and young, very much different from other students of the classroom. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel games. So is telling, he's talking about the boy. He is completely unnoticed. He is unaware of the world around him. He has his own dream. We can say he is dreaming in the day. He has his own world where he is just thinking about the games that he can enjoy in the lap of nature, tree room, in the lap of nature, in free world. Squirrel games he can enjoy. Other than this, means he is not at all interested in his classroom. He just want to leave the class. He is not bothered about the miserable condition, the pathetic condition of the classroom. He is just dreaming for the another world, the world that is full of games, the world that is full of happiness. So students, I hope you understood. Here in the first stanza, the poet is talking about the pathetic condition of these children studying in elementary school. What do you mean by elementary exactly? It's basic school, you can say primary school, junior schools. So elementary school that is located in slum area. Here the poet is talking about the students who are just compared to willow weeds, rootless weeds. It means they are unwanted, not welcomed by the society. The society thinks that they are good for nothing, they are of no use. He is talking about the way the students are appearing. He is talking about their appearance. First of all, he is talking about their pale faces that are and they are untidy, of course, and their hair that are scattered here and there on their faces. The next thing is talking about the girl who is overreached for the class and she is ill, she is depressed. Another student who is a thin boy and but he has greed in his eyes. The next child is there and who is a successor of his father. He didn't get anything, whether we are talking about good food or better facilities, but he got what? He got twisted bone disease. But at the same moment, he is talking about the classroom that is completely dim, the dark. Okay, but at the same time, he is talking about one boy whose situation is completely contrasted to the situations others are facing. Means the boy is completely different, who is sweet, who is young, who is unnoticed, and he lives in dream and he wants to go to another world better than the world in which he is residing. I hope you understood, students. Now your homework is to write summary of the first stanza. If you have any doubt, you can WhatsApp me. Have a nice day, students. Bye.